Welcome back to Bahamas at Sunrise. Access Accelerator client Antonio Hall has been planting seeds as long as he can remember. That passion has grown into green leaf farms. Our Annalise Thompson has that story.
Antonio Hall is the proud owner of Greenleaf Farms, which specializes in growing, harvesting, and packaging edible flowers and microgreens.
So we're a boutique farm in an urban community. We specialize in growing high-end culinary ingredients, so some very exotic culinary herbs, microgreens and edible flowers. And we supply those that value those ingredients, right? So private chefs, yacht chefs, hotel chefs, restaurants, bars, whoever find the value in what it is that we do, we supply.
The day-to-day operations of the farm include precise procedures.
Day-to-day operations, we need the ground needs to be sort of very fine, a very fine finish because of the product that we're dealing with. So it can't be rocky at all. It has to be almost just soil and compost. A little bit of rocks for aeration, but nothing too heavy.
Both edible flowers and microgreens are processed in different ways.
On a daily basis, we are here harvesting flowers first thing in the morning. So right after the dew is dried on the blooms, we begin harvesting right away. We take those flowers inside of our post-harvest building. We put them in the cooler to get the heat off of them, and then we bring them back out and we start to package those. Flowers are not washed because the minute that water goes on them, they start to decay. So the chefs would usually wash them as they need them, rinse them as they need them. Most times they don't rinse them at all because there's no dust and no blooms, because at the point that we harvest them, they're not picking up any dust for the most part. But they can be washed right before use. The microgreens, on the other hand, so once the microgreens are ready, so those are strategically seeded by hand. But after they are at their full stage, they are then harvested, and then they are put through a cycle, a wash and dry cycle. So we do a first wash to get the initial debris and dirt off, and then we do a second wash to ensure that the dirt is off. And then they go into a spin cycle. We use a spinner that was designed specifically for drying greens. And then I have a machine that is going to be retrofitted for larger greens. But that's for when we expand and have more space to grow larger greens. And from the spin cycle, they go into an air dry cycle. From the air dry table, it then goes into packing, like to the packing station. And from the packing station, we go into the cooler. So it literally goes from the field to our cooler to the client. And that's how our system works.
Greenleaf Farms grew as the result of a young boy's fascination with seeds.
As a child, I was always fascinated with watching things grow, and just about every fruit that my parents would bring home, I used to take the seeds from that fruit and plant the seeds. Most of them didn't germinate, but some of them didn't. The ones that did, I was able to get fruit from those trees.
Antonio's career path included more than just farming.
So architecture is a love of mine. When did I leave? I left in 2016, and it really was to follow my passion, which is the soil. So I took a bet on myself, and that led me here. But before taking that gamble, I would have purchased this parcel of land that we're on now, and I would have already started planting and started tilling this ground and preparing for my exit of architecture. I just felt my calling was something bigger than architecture.
Antonio received assistance from Access Accelerator at a pivotal moment in the company's development, and the process was intense.
At the point in time when I got involved with Access Accelerator, I was in need of a post-harvest building, which is a parking house, more or less. Now, my architectural background allowed me to be able to design this parking house to exactly the specifications that I would have needed. And Access Accelerator was the outlet from which I was able to get seed funding for this particular phase in my development.
Antonio appreciates everything Access Accelerator has done for him and what they continue to do for other small businesses.
It's refreshing to have Access Accelerator here. It's clear that they are about helping young businesses become sort of more established, and it's I'm happy to be a recipient.
If you are looking for edible flowers and microgreens, here's how to get in contact with Greenleaf Farms.
We are on social media, right? We're on Facebook as Greenleaf Farms, and we are on Instagram as GLF Bahamas, as in Greenleaf Farms, GLF Bahamas. And they can send us a message, and we will give them a cell phone number that they can WhatsApp. We usually take most of our orders through WhatsApp.
For Bahamas at Sunrise, I'm Annalise Thompson.